How about this? Redditor is distraught that her 18-year-old daughter refuses to have kids before marriage. That's before marriage, and wants to be married by age 25. So something's happening. I think maybe young people are becoming disenchanted with where liberalism has gone, because it's gone to a kind of a weird extreme place where that isn't really, I guess maybe young people are picking up on the fact that it's not necessarily, total selfishness is not necessarily the road to human well-being. Maybe they've been reading Jordan Peterson, 12 Rules or something. I don't know. But I kind of feel this might be a trend starting to happen. Let's take a look. Daughter who is 18. So this is a mother. This is a mother who's really upset that their daughter is wants to be basically like a trad wife. Daughter who is 18 seems obsessed with the idea of a family of her own, marriage and children. Now, maybe this is because, the dream of being the high-powered executive lady, girl boss, is becoming transparently unlikely for them. It's more just a life in a cubicle, right? Life in a cubicle, a cat at home, and a box of wine. And it hardly seems worth it. So that just, it does seem like a better life, doesn't it? I think it is a better life. Being able to raise your family, raise your kids, and be at home. I think for the majority of women, I think that's going to become more and more appealing than a life of just servitude in a cubicle with a bunch of people who don't really give a shit about you and certainly aren't going to be there on your deathbed. Now, of course, there are women, because it's all on a curve, right? You're never talking about everybody. Of course, there's women who actually should never be mothers. They're not maternal. It's not going to be for everybody, but we're always talking about, averages here. Admittedly, I, female 50, have not set a good example. That's not surprising. With me and her dad fighting, and other family fights may have caused it. So her daughter wants to have a wholesome life, and she's upset about it. She wasn't a good example, and all the fighting might have turned her to wanting to have a nice, simple, wholesome life, which the mother is horrified at. We were never married, but now she is entirely sure she will never have children outside of marriage. That used to be a thing that parents were really happy about, right? I think most still would be happy about that, would they not? But okay. And that she will marry young. She wants children and a husband before 25, and has been already saving for a house of her own, etc. This all sounds like a really, really good, like somebody with a good head on their shoulders. Doesn't it feel, look, I'm no Puritan, right? I'm no Puritan, but this just feels entirely like this female 50 talking about her daughter, horrified that she wants to actually live a good, moral life. It feels like just an insane level of degeneracy to me. It's amazing that this kid turned out all right. She began attending a new Orthodox church a year ago and has since become more and more religious. She met a boy at church who is from a wealthy Canadian family. He is nice, but also incredibly religious, but a man of few words. He is 3 years older than her. And if I am honest, I am not keen on him. So she's 18 and he's 21. Wow. That'll never work, right? What is that? That's like a January and earlier in January wedding, right? All right. Blah, blah, blah. He's 3 years older than her. She doesn't like him. He's one of those awful Christians and from a wealthy family. Ooh, nice. Can't she do better than that? Nice. Christian and wealthy. She should be trying to meet, I don't know, an athlete. She'd be trying to meet a football player. Or maybe a rock star. Her plan is she will get a degree in midwifery, and once she is married, she will stay at home, which I think is unfeasible with the cost of living crisis, etc. If I am honest, I do not think she will even end up in university. Oh, heaven forbid, heaven forfend. And she has done barely any work for her upcoming exams. I should add, none of her siblings are the same. In fact, two have children outside of marriage, and none of us are religious, only baptized as babies. So it is so bizarre where all this came from. And it seems backwards. Wanting to have a good life seems backwards to worst mother in history. I mean, she didn't mention anything about being a meth addict yet, but I don't know. I'm reading between the lines here. What a fucked up person. That's somebody that's a symptom of a degenerate society. And I don't mean that in like, again, I'm not like a Puritan, but I just mean in a societal breakdown kind of way. Uh, it seems backwards to her that her daughter wants to actually have a good, respectable life. She'd rather that she be like the other children who have kids outside of marriage and aren't religious. I mean, look, I'm not religious either, but I respect it. I respect Christianity. You know, I like one of the things I respect about is the whole give unto Caesar what is Caesar and give unto God what is God's, which places it as a personal God, you know? And you personally are responsible for your own faith. So it's not your ancestors aren't, you know, your kids aren't. It's you and it's personal responsibility. Fundamentally, that's the core of that, which is something I respect and I think is good. So even though I'm not a religious man myself, I can appreciate parts of this and I can appreciate the contribution to Western civilization. And I think this awful meth head mother lady is just, I mean, I'm assuming meth head. I'm just assuming that. Could be way off. Could just be endless boxes of wine. I don't know. Anyway, what can I do to help her with this situation? What you can do to help your daughter is stay the fuck away from her. That's what you can do. She will not see the dangers. What dangers? The danger of perhaps like having a nice family and a good life and not wasting your life toiling in an office? Truly weird. I mean, maybe this is just trolling. Maybe this isn't even real. I don't know. It's the internet. It could be anything. I should also add she is slowly cutting off contact with my side of the family. Wow, what a surprise. Smart girl, too. Her dad's side are distant as it is, they are scattered worldwide, but we are mostly in the same country. I am moving away in a year or two to live with one of my older children, and I think she may cut off contact with me entirely then. Female 18 daughter seems to be becoming a trad wife, and I, female 50, am concerned she is going to ruin her life. Oh, dear. Well, it takes all kinds, doesn't it? Takes all kinds.